Hi there, it's Jeff Harrison here at MacroMonster.com, and I want to show you a bit about a product called Alexander Penkin's Variables Tool. And what it can be used for is to bring in images, kind of like variable imaging. And probably the best way to show you what it does is to simply take a fictional product here, or a fictional project, and I'm just going to launch the macro. Now the macro expands out to the right this way. There's got a variety of options here. We're not going to go through every single one, but I just want to give you a quick overview of what this product can do for you. Let's say you want to create some business cards or identification cards where there's some photos involved and perhaps some other text that you want to put on each card. And if you have the information referenced in a database, this can work in conjunction with that to bring the photos in and place them relative to some of the placeholders that we're seeing there. So here's an example. In the product at the very top, you could either create a brand new database within the product, or you could open up an existing database. If I was to open one that I've already made called Staff, you can edit it in here, or you could edit it in a program like Excel or some other program that can work on CSV files. So here's my data. I've got a quick sample: employee number, employee pick. This could be a variety of different file formats. The first and last name, their title, and I've also have their signature as a image as well. All right, so that gives you the opportunity to create or edit a database there if you didn't want to use Excel or some other program. So what we're going to do is open that file, and you can see that it's populated this area with some fields. And we're also going to need to choose a folder for images. I happen to have it all in the same folder. Okay, so what we have to do now is I've grouped the space along with the name of what it is, just for easy reference. Okay, and then I also have an outside dimension for the entire card. Now this doesn't seem to be perfectly centered up and down, so I'm just going to press the E key and then bumped it up a little bit. I'm going to save my work. Now what we have to do here is assign each component here to the macro, so the macro knows where to bring in the data and position it. So if we go go from the top down to keep it logical here. And we click on employee number in the workspace, so there, click on employee number, pick insert, and then there's a little OK thing that shows up there. The next thing is employee pick. We'll click on that, click on employee pick, choose insert, first name, insert. It's not really insert, it's probably not the best word for it. It's probably the word connect or something like that would be a little more intuitive there. And then the final thing was the signature pick. Okay, so it's recognized all of those fields. So it's as simple as this. If I was to have a look at some of my settings here, I'm going to not convert to CMYK and not resample the bitmaps. And if I go back over here to layout, I'll just show you a quick example of what this can do so far for us at this point. I'm just going to move it out of the way. So we go ahead and select everything, including that outside bounding box. And if we were to hit apply, it'll go ahead and create our the cards for us. Now there's a couple of things I want to do here. If it's done what it's supposed to do, but I don't really want to have those outside rectangles there. That was just a placeholder, and I also want to put some crop lines in, and this macro can do that. So one way to do these things is I'm just going to hit the undo button inside the macro. If I click on this outside rectangle, I could left click on, or right click rather, on the no fill swatch and still keep everything selected. So even though the outside outline doesn't have a fill or an outline color, it's still an element in the Corel file, and I can use that for placement purposes. Now if we expand it over to the right here, we can choose the Draw Crop Marks option. So let's see what this will do for us. Alright, so far so good. Now if I was to make these cards, I would want these two crop lines to be right on top of each other, so that when we cut through top, vertically and horizontally, there's only needs to be one cut this way and this way. So let's see if we can figure that out. We hit the undo button, go back to this point, and I think it might be, is it gaps? Let's put 0 and 0 over here, and then let's see what we have. There we go. I think we're getting to what I want to do there. Alright, so we only need to cut once through the middle there and also top to bottom. And it's brought in the bitmaps not only for the face of the people, but also for their signature. This is very low res, just for a quick example, but so this is one situation where, and again, per card you could have, more images per card if you wanted to have a different color background per person. And there's other features in the product, but I just wanted to give you a real quick overview of how to get some kind of a project started to get a feel for how it could be used for your own purposes.